That's a long ways up there. Howdy y'all, welcome back. So I'm out here on the road. I am somewhere at a truck stop near Williams, Iowa, and I'm headed out for a few nights. But today, it's mostly a road day, and I've got a spot picked out on maps to go check out. It looks like a really cool sight to see. That'll be our next stop, and then, well, we might need gas again before then. But I don't know where I'm gonna stay tonight. I think we might end up just crashing at a truck stop tonight. We'll see how that turns out. I grabbed a couple of corn dogs because I haven't had anything to eat. Let me grab my phone. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon right now, and I've got at least 3 hours left to get to the site that I want to see. I've already been on the road for about 4 hours today, I think. Sounds about right. And there is a campground near it, but since it's going to be so late by the time I get there, and since I'm just going to get up early in the morning and keep jamming on down the road, I don't think there's any reason for me to spend money to stay at a campground. So we'll just see how it turns out. Maybe once I get there it looks nice and I'm tired, we'll stop, but we'll see how this all works out. I'm just happy to be out on the road and have a good time. And I got a corn dog. And a sugar-free Red Bull. Weather is nice. It's currently 78 degrees. I think it's going to be about like that wherever I go. The low tonight is probably in the mid-50s wherever I'm going to end up at. So I'm going to go ahead and shove these corn dogs down my throat and we'll get on the road. A little bit of rain, y'all, a little bit of rain. Well, we've made it into Minnesota, and we're gonna go check that spot out way up there on the top of the hill. Can you guys see it? All right, y'all, well, we've made it to our spot to check out. I am just outside the small town of Elba, Minnesota, and right here, up this huge staircase, and even farther up, there's a giant fire lookout tower. So you can kind of see some of it on here. There's a little cartoon of the tower, and I think that's the view from above. Probably looking that way towards the bridge. But it is one that has like a room on the top. So, yeah, I'm gonna walk up there. It is way up there. Bring binoculars and a camera. Well, I don't have binoculars. Do not climb the tower if you fear heights or experience dizziness. So, let's just get to walking. Better tie my shorts. This is gonna be a bit of a hike. Haven't even made it that far. My legs are already burning. It just keeps going. Would you look at that? I've climbed 420 steps and I am thoroughly out of shape. I'm sweating my ass off. Got lots more steps to go. I think this is like 700 something. came in on that road down there. So you can see I've already climbed a long ways. And here we are, I think. Oh, it's a lot more steps. All right, well, no more than 6 people at a time. There was a car in the parking lot, but they were just walking down. Don't drop anything. Yeah. That's a long ways up. Well, I'm soaking wet, but let's do this. This is gonna be steep. Well, we've made it all the way to the top. If you hear another voice, there's another gentleman up here. But we made it all the way to the top. And if you guys can see, all the way down there, the parking lot I parked in is like right down there. So I hiked up all the way from that road. There's a little bit of information up here. So you can see the town right there, maybe, guys. There we go. It says as recently as 1974 and 1975, Elba was covered by floodwaters. So that town right there, because you can see maybe there's a creek right there and it kind of rolls through. And there's a bunch of campgrounds here, like that's campground right there. And then there's also one right there. So there's no windows in here, but you can see at one point where these would pop out. This would have been a manned station at some point. There's a lot of graffiti up here. I think we know the type of clientele that this typically gets up here, but it's also cool because the trees are already changing here in Minnesota. You can see all the orange and red, especially like right out there. It's absolutely gorgeous up here. I feel like if this wasn't such a public area, there was 2 people walking down when I got here. That guy that I didn't get him on video already went back down, but he passed me coming up the trail. So it'd be fairly busy, but somebody could get away with sleeping up here. You could lay down right here if you needed to. But you don't know, somebody could just come walking up. You're gonna hear them, you're gonna feel them walking up, but there's nowhere for you to go. I'd love to sit up here until the sun sets, but as you can see, it's a little high. It's probably, guessing sunsets at like 7:30 or 8 right now here. It's 5:17. I'm not gonna sit up here that long. I can get a couple more hours north, so. I think going down is sketchier, y'all. These stairs are like, they're definitely not regulation. And depending on how you fall, you ain't getting caught by the little fencing on the edge here. Sketchy. I'm like making sure to hold on for dear life, at least on one side. Yeah. Alright, I'm just gonna put the camera down and get to the bottom. Alright. Back on solid ground. I only gotta go down like 700, 800 more steps. At least it's all downhill. There are a couple of benches down here, and you can sit here and you get a cool view of the town out there. Let's make our way back to the van. All right, yeah, we've made it back to the van. I am drenched in sweat, so that's awesome. But I've got about 4.5 hours to drive tomorrow to get to my destination. And like I said, today was kind of a driving day. So I'm just gonna get back on the road. It's 5:46. And we'll just head on down the road for another couple hours. Probably once it starts getting dark, we'll find ourselves a truck stop or a rest area or somewhere we can just park for the night. Also probably see if we can find some food. I do have like the Mountain House freeze-dried stuff that comes down to eating that, but if we can find a nice truck stop, we'll definitely eat some of their food probably. But I'm gonna hang out and try to stop sweating, and then we will get back on the road. Stay tuned, y'all. Well, y'all, we've made it into Wisconsin. So that is cool. There is a bunch of road work on this road, so that is also cool. I can't even stop and take a picture of my van with the sign. Bogus. There it is right there. Tis what it is. We are in Wisconsin.
Oak Avenue, then turn right. Turn right, then turn left.
All right, y'all, I made it to I've made it to a truck stop. I'm at a Quick Trip. Where are we anyways? Mnemone, Wisconsin? Right off Lake Mnemone? I don't know. If you can see that, yeah, I'm over here at that Quick Trip. They don't really have great parking here. I walked inside because they had a bunch of signs that said like 30-minute parking only. So I asked them, one, if I could just park here in my van since it's a truck stop. Didn't think it should be a problem, but he wanted me to pull back over here by the semis and like park with them. I'm not gonna park with them. We'll see if I get hassled. But they're right behind me. You can probably see one through the back window there, maybe. And there's not a lot of parking for them here, maybe like 10 semis, something like that. But it's 7:34 in the evening, and I'm hungry. So I'm gonna go inside, see if we can find some food. I'll probably pop my windows open first, get some air in here. Actually, why don't we go ahead and do that now? Try not to kill my batteries though. Somebody said on the last video, like, these aren't going to keep the bugs out. How will they not keep the bugs out? They're completely sealed around the edges. This side doors, you can't go any lower because of this thing, but the screen goes all the way down there. Like, they're completely sealed. Whatever. Some people just have to complain, I guess. Just like I'm doing right now. Let's go get some food. So there we are. Yeah, they wanted me to park right there. I've not taken up those spots. And you can tell that plenty of people have parked along here, so I don't think I'll get hassled. Truck stop food, unless I want to walk over to Denny's. I think I'm good with just some truck stop food and chilling in the van. I got some food and a drink, and they said I'm good where I'm parked, so chilling for the night. All right, well, we made it in here. Oh. Feels good to be stopped for the day. I'll have to look. Guess I can look without turning the vehicle on. 498 miles today, so not bad. I do want to get this fan going a little bit though. Evo. That feels better. Ugh. Brought my sleeping bag since it might be a little chilly. What do we have? What did we get for dinner here? So I grabbed a brew, Terrapin Brewing Company, Athens, Georgia, Morning Haze, Imperial Hazy IPA, and it's 8.8%. It's pretty strong looking. So we'll try that. And I picked up a little thing of macaroni and cheese. We've got some Dutch Crutch Pepper Jack kettle chips. I don't think I've ever seen Pepper Jack chips before. And then I grabbed a spicy chicken sandwich. And that should be tasty. We've got a little bit of ranch that we can dip that in. I'm gonna need a spoon. Oh, and a koozie. I got a koozie right here. There we go. One thing that I did not bring and that I do not have in here, although maybe they have some inside, this place is open 24 hours. I don't have any earplugs, and I always kept a set in the truck for when I did camp at places like this, or I don't know if I would call this camping, for when I spent the night at places like these, because a lot of the trucks will just sit there and idle the entire night, so it can be kind of noisy. so we'll see how that goes. I guess I could close those back windows if it mattered that much. That would help a bit, but it's kind of warmish in here right now. Check the temp. It's currently 78. Wait, it's currently 74. Feels like 74, so it's a little warm, but it's a low of 57 tonight, so it shouldn't be bad. There's a very, very slight chance of rain, but I'm not too worried about it. This is an IPA, so let's see if it makes me sneeze. Close these front curtains. Did not make me sneeze though, which is surprising. That's a little nicer. Front curtains are closed. Not much of a chicken sandwich, it's kind of mushed, but that's all right. I was actually a little bit more curious about the mac and cheese. Kind of feel like I should have got a bigger one because I'm a fat kid. Well, anyways, it was a beautiful drive. No problems at all with the truck. No problems at all with the van. I'm gonna keep saying truck. Just ran out good. Quick Trip mac and cheese has my seal of approval. Curious what they make that out of. The chicken sandwich, a little bit bogus. It's kind of messed up. It ain't centered on my bun. And it is definitely not spicy. But I really didn't expect it to be. But that's good. It's gonna get me to sneeze at one of these sips, that's for sure. Definitely tastes like an IPA. I'm not a huge IPA guy, but like that's all they had in there as far as tall boys, unless I wanted a Coors or something. I feel like all these craft breweries, like all they put out is IPAs. Little Mac and Ranch. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. I'm gonna hold off on these. This is gonna be enough to fill me up right now. Like one bite of chicken left on here. Maybe two. Wasn't terrible, but the meat did not fit the bun. I think I'm gonna have to lay with my head that way though. The van's sitting like this. Which doesn't surprise me since I'm at the very edge of the parking lot. Try it a different way. I've been sleeping this way. put my head in the corner of my feet, like right here, so I'll just have to swap. Well, that wasn't too bad. As long as I don't get hit by a semi. Alright, y'all, well, it's a few hours later. I've been hanging out. I just spent the last couple hours editing the footage that I took today so I can finish that out hopefully in the morning and get that uploaded for you guys tomorrow. And now I've been in a death scroll on my phone. I think every one of those truck spots is full, so I'm glad that I didn't take any of those spots up. In fact, I think one guy drove through here and he ended up leaving because the spots were full. But yeah, I'm gonna get crashed out. There's something making a funny noise back there. As much as I don't need this fan on in the window, it's like somebody's generator on their truck or something started up. That's not a diesel motor, I don't think. Anyways, I'm gonna get my shirt off and whatnot, and I'm gonna get headed to bed. I'll see you guys in the morning. Probably close up the rest of my curtains too. I slept pretty good in here. Man, I slept good. I had to have that fan. I didn't really need the fan on, but I had to leave it on, and I turned it on high because it drowned out a lot of the noise out there. Earplugs. I gotta pick up some earplugs and put them in here whenever I get my kit figured out for, I don't know. Hell, I know there's food in there I can eat if I want some breakfast, although I'm not really that hungry. Oh, I think I do have a Dunkin' in my thing though. Or not, or yes. I gotta get some more ice. Dunkin'. Instead of having to go in there, this was actually, I think this one was sent in during one of the live streams. Yeah, it was, because I think I got the Mountain House meals in there that came with it. Foosball is the devil. It is also nice that there's a toilet right there. Oh, man. Well, alright, y'all. Kind of got myself cleaned up, changed, brushed my tooth and whatnot. I think I'm gonna hit the road. Went inside and used the bathroom and looked for something to eat, and they've got a ton of breakfast sandwiches and stuff in there, but I'm just not all that hungry, so I think it's time to just roll out. There's my keys. that's about it, y'all. That's something I've never seen before. Check this out. They got a gazebo on a trailer. I mean, I get it. I've seen gazebos, but I've never seen one transported like that. It seems simple enough that they could just build it in on location, but what do I know? I'm not a construction guy anymore. But yeah, gorgeous morning. I had a great time yesterday. That hike was rough. Surprisingly, my legs aren't super sore yet. Oh, there's a Fleet Farm over there. Mwah. Might have to check that out. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. A few more videos coming from this trip for sure. The next one should be pretty fun. Should be a little bit different. So, anyways, if you thought it was cool, hit the like button, all that nonsense. And as always, stay tuned for the next adventure. I'll see you in a bit.